Anyway, I wanted to ask you about something that is happening tomorrow in the House and that is likely to dominate the news this week. And that is that the House is going to debate and vote upon a proposal to establish an independent commission to investigate the violent events in the Capitol of January 6th. The politics around this have gotten really, really ugly. Can you talk a little bit about that and really what you think is on the line with this debate and this vote tomorrow?
Look, what happened on January 6th needs to be investigated, understand what led to that, understand the aftermath of it, how rhetoric had contributed to this insurrection, and then why was the appropriate forces not prepared for something like this to happen. It wasn't like it was a secret that a lot of people were going to be amassing on January 6th. And how come the tactics, techniques, and procedures of those involved fell down? One of the reasons that I think members of Congress should be focused on this is for their staff. Right? You had young men and women who, from their town, thought they were coming to Washington D.C. to help their hometown congressperson, and a lot of them were scared and worried and having to hide in their office and not know what was potentially going to happen. It's also for me that is what happened on January 6th is an indication of this truth decay that we're seeing happening across the country. And when I joined the CIA back in October 2000, I was in the CIA when 9/11 happened, and if Islamic extremism was the existential crisis of the day in those early 2000s, I think this perpetuation and this truth decay that is happening across and being exacerbated by social media is an existential crisis that we have right now. And I think a bipartisan, equal Republicans and Democrats, of thoughtful people to investigate this and hopefully take some of the politics out of this is going to be important.
Truth decay is an interesting phrase. Nancy Pelosi, the speaker, has made some of the concessions that Republicans asked for. The membership of the commission is going to be evenly balanced between Democrats and Republicans. It will not be able to issue subpoenas without some bipartisan support. But Republicans are saying that this investigation should open up into, Black Lives Matter protests and all sorts of other things. I mean, is that a legitimate argument in your mind?
I think to be effective, this should be narrow. It should focus on what happened at the Capitol. It was an insurrection in our Capitol, and we should be focused on that and elements that led up to that. And so if there's other things that pop up, then maybe explore. I think ultimately this is going to pass the House of Representatives. The question is what happens on the Senate side, and whether or not the members of the Senate you have the 60 votes in order to get this done. I don't know what the whip count is over there, but I would be in favor of something that's narrow and focus on those efforts, because that was the significant issue. We all remember, to me, that image. There was two plainclothes police officers with their guns drawn, and there was a member that had broken off a leg of a chair. And people were banging on the doors of the Capitol, place that I spent time. To me, that just shows the seriousness of this, and we got to ensure that doesn't happen in the future. And we got to also ensure. I think there's an element of protecting individual members and their staff in being able to do their work for the people of this country.